What is going on, streamer? Today we are going to be talking about a checklist for your YouTube live streams. Now, the reason that I'm going through the process and taking you on a walkthrough, so to speak, of how to do everything it is that you need to do before you stream, the reason that you want to do this is because a lot of people are scheduling their content and then they're not doing some of this back end work, and it's costing them views and it's costing them overall traction on their YouTube channels. But in addition to that, there's some newish YouTube features that you also need to make sure that you are taking advantage of if you are a live streamer. So today I'm going to be showing you all of those things. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Nick. I teach people about YouTube and teach them how to thrive on YouTube through the resources, tools, and information they need. So if you are wanting to learn more about YouTube, of course, there's going to be links to me down in the description as well. But today we're focused on you and focused on Streamyard and making sure that when you go live, everything is set up properly. So for this, I've went ahead and I've set up a dummy live stream on another YouTube channel, and I've got everything kind of ready and prepped so I can literally walk you through step by step what you need to make sure that you have set up. Now, some of this is at the stream level in terms of I scheduled my live stream. These are things that I need to go in and do it. The other things that we're going to be talking about are at the channel level. And these things that are at the channel level are going to just kind of optimize things for you in terms of your productivity, but they're also things that you need to make sure that you have set up in order to manage your live stream kind of, we'll just say kind of automatically of sorts through the back end of YouTube in terms of, excuse me, in terms of cutting down on trolls and that sort of thing. So, so because of that, we are going to just get right into this today, and we are going to go ahead and start going through that. But let me take a quick sip of water before we go into that today. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, and feel free to, if you are somebody that's hanging out here in the live stream today, feel free to open up your channel and you can go through this step by step with me, and we can make sure that you have everything that you need taken care of. Now, I do want to let you know, if you are participating in the live stream right now, at the end of this setup that I'm going to take you through, I'm going to do a Q&A as well. So if you have any questions about any of the stuff that I've, that I'm going to be sharing with you here in this live stream, just go ahead and take a note of them. And then when we get into the Q&A part of this live stream, then I'll be able to answer any questions that you have about any of the settings or any of the other things that we're going to go through. So right now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up my screen. It looks like I've already done that. So let me actually switch over to my stream and let me turn off this auto switcher really quick. Okay. So the very first thing that I'm going to take you through, and actually before I do this, let me move this over to here so I can just make sure that I'm still live and whatnot. There we go. Got it taken care of. So, okay. So the very first thing that I want to bring to your attention is the items at the channel level. Now, what this is this is not only going to help you, like with each additional live stream, helping you make sure that everything is cleaned up and all of that, but it's going to help you in terms of efficiency as well. If there's things that you're always adding to your channel, if you always have trolls coming into your stream, stuff like that, this channel level thing that we're getting ready to go into, this is going to help you cut down on all of that stuff on your live streams. And this also applies if you upload video content as well. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is right down here in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to click on settings. Now, when I click on settings, it's going to open up this dialog box here for me. And the very first thing that we're going to go into here is that's of importance for you when it comes to live streaming is we're going to click on the channel option, and then we're going to go over to advanced settings. Now, if you are following along, then, feel free to, like I said before, write down any questions that you have as we go. Feel free to take notes, of course. But the very first thing, of course, is if you are not streaming for kids, then in that particular case, go ahead and just set this to not, set this channel not for kids so that you don't have to do that, every single time that you go into your, into your settings for your live streams. That's going to help you in terms of getting things done quickly. Now, another thing that you want to make sure that you're checking, and the reason for this one is because YouTube auto captions videos and live streams. So since they auto captions videos and live streams, and with that said, I do have to put out a disclaimer and let you know that as part of the live stream auto captions, they only do those with certain settings. Some of the settings, they do not do that. Some of the higher, higher frame rates and all of that stuff. But basically, you want to make sure that you have don't show potentially inappropriate words. And the reason for this is it just helps keep you clean, but more importantly, sometimes their machines get it wrong. And if you're saying something that sort of sounds like something that might be inappropriate, then their captioning machine, we'll call it, might put the wrong words in there. And if the wrong words end up too many times in your live stream through those auto captions, it's basically saying this is how the system is understanding what it is that you're talking about. Then you can end up with little words and little phrases that might actually end you up in restricted mode. So you want to make sure that for the replay, especially, that you are checking the don't show potentially inappropriate words in terms of your auto captions. Now, as we keep on scrolling down the page, that's pretty much it for this particular page. Now we're going to move over to the upload defaults. Now, what the upload defaults are, if you are not familiar with this, is for the upload defaults, what happens is every time you upload a video to YouTube or when you go live, this is going to auto-populate into your title, description, tags, and everything else that you have set up here. So this is upload defaults. And the reason that you want to use this is because this helps with all kinds of things when it comes to essentially, starting your stream and getting everything together. So the very first thing that you want to do is right here in this description area, you can see as I scroll down this slowly, I have a bunch of links in here, things that I commonly put in my video descriptions and all of that. I've got my icons in there and all of that. And the reason that I have this in here in my upload defaults is because when I upload a video or when I go live on my YouTube channel, and this is a side channel that I have on my main channel, the reason that I have these is because I don't want to have to open up a notepad and copy and paste every time because it slows me down, right? Like I got stuff to focus on. I'm trying to get live streams ready, trying to get videos out. So because of that, I don't want to be slowed down here at this particular point in time. So when I add those links in there, it just makes sure that I have everything that I need essentially. And the tip that I have for you, the recommendation that I have for you on this is if you have playlists that you commonly link to, if you have things that you commonly link to, put everything in there, right? Everything that you think that you might link to in your description. And then when you actually, upload your content or when you are setting up your live stream, then in that particular case, this stuff is going to already be in there and you can just go through and delete. Now, when you are uploading to Streamyard, in that case, it's going to be a little bit different. Like if you're going live through Streamyard, and the reason for that is because they currently, at this moment in time, they don't import these settings. So there you would have to pull it out from a notepad. But for everything else, anything that you're doing directly through YouTube, you want to make sure that you have this set up so you can save yourself time. Now, if you're uploading videos to YouTube, you're supposed to have this set to unlisted. It allows you to fully prepare your video with no restrictions on it. But if you're live streaming, of course, you want to make sure this is public because you want those, when you go live, you obviously, want it to be public. So for videos, go ahead and leave this as unlisted. It's not going to impact your live stream settings. And then, of course, if you do have any, common tags that you use, then you can put those in there if you want. But just as a quick heads up, these don't really play that much of a role anymore. But since the box is still there, make sure that you are, still using them. Now, as we go into the advanced settings, some things that I want to bring your attention to here. This is a fairly new feature when it comes to YouTube, them auto captioning your live streams. So they do this for videos. They do this for live streams as well. And if you are somebody that does not want YouTube to have that control where they automatically add captions to your videos, then in that case, you want to uncheck this. But if you're like, you know what? I don't care. They can caption them if they want to, or if they don't want to, or I'm sorry, chapter them if they want to, or they can, not chapter them if, they don't find it acceptable or whatever. Then in that case, you can go ahead and just leave it checked like I do. And then that way, if they want to caption them, that's fine. I don't care. If they don't caption them, I don't care either. In terms of the chapters, I'm sorry, I keep saying captions, but I mean chapters. In addition to that, as we keep scrolling down, one huge mistake that content creators make is they have their licensing set to Creative Commons with attribution. You want to make sure that you have yours set to standard YouTube license. And the reason for this is because if you have yours set to Creative Commons with attribution, anybody can steal your content from your live stream or from your videos that are on your YouTube channel. They can take it and they can use it as freely as they want to on YouTube. And all they have to do is just put a little snippet down there in the description saying that it came from you. And essentially, it's not really giving you credit because not tons of people are looking in your video descriptions unless you're driving them down into your video description. So because of that, in order to protect your content, you want to make sure that you have this set to standard YouTube license instead of Creative Commons with attribution, okay? And another thing to think about as well, there's a lot of channels on YouTube right now that are trying to teach people how to repurpose, essentially how to steal content from people and then re-upload it as their own. And one of the things that they do is they have them go to YouTube search, select, when when they search for something, they have an option in the filters to look for Creative Commons content. And if you have that selected, your channel is going to come up, and all of those people that are following these instructions that are trying to make all these copy channels, which most of them are going to fail anyway, but they're still going to be taking your content and using it as their own. So because of that, make sure that you have that set properly. Now, in addition to that, this box right here, this title and description language box, this got added fairly recently. So because of that, if you have set this stuff up in the past, you want to make sure that for 2022, you go in and you update this and make sure that you have the title and description language set to the native title and description language for your content. Now, the next thing that you want to do is when we come down to comments here, right? This is one of the things that's going to help you in terms of spam, spam bots, things like that on your live streams, is if you come down here and you click on for comment visibility, hold potentially inappropriate comments for review, then what's going to happen is if somebody comes in and they say something that's inappropriate, then in that case, YouTube is going to go ahead and put them in a completely different section. They're going to put them under held for review in your comment section. And then if you want to, you can go in and look at those, but I typically don't. But if you want to, you can go and you can look at those and then clear any that, that are okay, where they're not saying anything outrageous. But this right here will kind of default them over into that area if they say something inappropriate. Now, as a quick heads up, I'm not going to click on this one. And the reason for that is because, we are live on the internet right now. And if I click on that, then it's going to show, a handful of email addresses and all that. So we're not going to click on that one right now. But under this permissions tab, if you have this, I do want to let you know that if you have somebody that helps you pre-schedule your live streams, they help you get everything ready, and then you just show up and hit the button and go live, then in that case, adding them to the permissions here so that when you schedule your stream over on Streamyard, and then you come into YouTube to make sure that you have everything set up properly, for the stream on the back end, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, those things. But when you come over to YouTube to make sure that everything's set up properly on the back end here, then, they will have permission to do the YouTube side for you. So then they can schedule you on Streamyard, and then they can come over here and make sure that everything is cleaned up over on the YouTube side to make sure that, your live chat replay is on and some of the other settings that I'm going to be showing you here shortly. But for that, that's under that permission section. But the next thing I want to bring your attention to is this community option right here. Now, if you do have moderators in your live stream, this is where you would add those moderators. Basically, you would have them create a YouTube channel, and then you would add them here by their, you can just drop the full URL of the YouTube channel into this. And then, of course, same for the approved users. And then as we keep on going down, another quick tip that I have for you is right here, you see this hidden users area. If you're live streaming and you accidentally ban people or whatever, this happens all the time. I'm sure you've experienced this if you stream, over to YouTube, to where either you yourself or one of your moderators, they'll be trying to, remove something out of the chat or stopping a troll of some kind. And just because the chat moves, as they're clicking it, they'll accidentally end up selecting the wrong person. And then they accidentally ban the wrong person. That might be somebody that, one of your top supporters that gets banned, or somebody that, always advocates on your behalf, or just a viewer that's not causing any problem. And when that happens, then if they reach out to you on Twitter, just bring it to your attention any way, this area right here is where you go in to actually unban them from your YouTube live streams. Now, another area, and I've cleared mine out for this just because it can get pretty explicit in here. So I cleared this out just to keep everything, family friendly and brand friendly here on the Streamyard channel. But basically, this blocked words list, this will save you a ton of headache when it comes to people trolling you, people leaving spam comments, and all of that. So what you want to do is you want to add words here. You want to add words of anything offensive. You want to add words as you start noticing people spamming your live streams. You want to take the words or phrases that they're using to spam and add those in here. And basically, it works kind of like the holding inappropriate comments for review, to where if somebody says one of the words that you put down here, then in that case, as soon as they say whatever it is that you put in there, then YouTube will put those into the held for review area as well. So this even works. Like, let's say, for example, you let's say you're self-conscious about wearing glasses, right? Or you have some other thing to where you're like, oh man, I just don't want people talking about that. Then in that case, you can also add that here. Like, I could put the word glasses, and then anytime somebody mentioned the word glasses, it would just default, bam, and it would head over to that held for review section. So this can save you a ton of headache and possibly embarrassment, depending on, whatever it is that they might say. And in addition to that, it also keeps everything clean. So if you are, a company, for example, than having, a bunch of cuss words and, all that type of stuff in there. Anything that you feel would negatively reflect on your brand, you can put that there. You can put competitors in here. So if somebody, typically comes into your stream and they're saying, like, oh, hey, you should use this instead or whatever, you can add all that stuff in here and it'll block them as well. But basically this blocked words list is your buddy, so to speak, on cutting down on the amount of spam and, trolling that happens in your live streams. And this also applies to your videos on YouTube as well, which is a big win. Now, in addition to that, you want to make sure that you also have this block links selected. And the reason you want to make sure that you have these block links selected is because if anybody comes into your live stream and they start dropping links to their YouTube channels, or they start dropping links to, their websites or competitors or anything like that, then this is just going to auto stop them. So they won't be able to share any links. The only people at that point in time, once you check this box, the only people that can share links in your live streams is you and your moderators. That's it. Nobody else can drop a link in your stream. So make sure that you have that set up as well. So now we are going to go over into the actual stream itself, the actual, scheduled stream. So the workflow for this is you set everything up on Streamyard, right? You go ahead and schedule your stream over there so that you can, multicast, or so that you can just, run everything through Streamyard. But then once you have it set up over there, it's going to show up inside of YouTube here. So what you want to do is you want to go to your YouTube channel. You want to log into your Creator Studio right up here in the top right. Once you do that, it's going to bring you into a videos tab. It'll actually take you into the dashboard. So you want to make sure you hit content, and then you want to click on live. Now, once you do that, you're going to see the scheduled live stream that you have. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to click on details. Once you click on details, then this is going to show you, however you filled out your description inside of StreamYard. It's going to show you that, right here so that you can see that. But in addition to that, if we start scrolling down here, if you set up your upload defaults properly, then you should already have it to where it says, no, it's not made for kids, right? So just check that once. It's all you need to check it. And then as we keep on scrolling down, for each individual stream, you also have this option to allow automatic chapters when available and eligible. So because of that, again, if you're wanting chapters in your videos, if you want YouTube to auto chapter your content, then you want to make sure this box is checked. If you want to chapter your content, you want to have full control over that, then in that case, you want to make sure this is unchecked so that you can be the one that captions this when you get around to it instead of YouTube doing it automatically. Now, as we keep on going down here, some of this stuff over here is going to be reflected from the upload defaults. If you do not set up the upload defaults, which you should if you've made it this far in this live stream right now, but if you haven't, then of course you can, update that title and description language there as well. But another thing that you want to do, and just as a heads up, this is just a minor detail, and this isn't something that's going to bring you like tons of traffic or something unless it's shared on a high volume website. But if you want to embed your live streams in your own website, or if you want to allow other people to embed them, like let's say they write a blog post and they're talking about, whatever subject matter it is that you talk about, and they are somebody that watches your YouTube channel, they enjoy your content, and they use your live stream as a reference, and that can help bring you viewers. So because of that, you want to make sure that either for your website or for other people to be able to do it, that you have the allow embedding checked. And what that's going to do is that's going to enable a snippet of code that they can get for your video to where they can just paste that snippet of code on their website, or you can, in order to embed your live stream into, whatever website they want. Now, in terms of the pre-flight thing for this particular page, the video details page, that's all you need to know for this video details page. But let me keep going here. Now, another thing too, this would be after your stream, which we're going to talk about that. But you also want to have the option here. You're not going to see this before you stream, but after the stream, people now, if they have shorts channels, and what shorts are is they're 60 seconds or less videos, and they're vertical format. But what people can do is they can react to your streams, or they can use parts of your streams, as kind of like a duet of sorts with your content. So if you do want to allow that, then after your stream is complete, you'd want to come in and check on that box. But before you go live, I'm just going to hit discard changes there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on customization. Hold on, having a technical problem here. Here, let me just refresh the page. So if you are just joining us, I do want to let you know, basically I'm going through a checklist of sorts of all the things that you need to do for your YouTube channel and for your actual live streams on YouTube to make sure you get everything set up properly before your stream. Now, another thing that's really cool here that you want to make sure that you have checked is I've seen in the Streamyard community a lot, and all over the internet a lot, where people are like, hey, you know, I'm live streaming, but my chat just disappears. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. The reason for that is because if you look right here, by default, live chat replay is off. I don't know why, but by default, they have it off. So if you are somebody that wants that live chat replay to be a part of your replay, then make sure that you click this box right here to have your live chat replay when your live stream is replaying as well. And another thing that I want to bring your attention to as we scroll down this page is I also want to bring your attention to this trailer option right here. Now with this trailer option, this is a new feature on YouTube, fairly new feature, to where you can just click on this. And then once you click on this, you can pick a trailer from your YouTube channel. And then instead of scheduling your stream and just having a static image right there with the remind button, you actually get the opportunity to talk to potential viewers before your live stream, where you can make a video that tells them, hey, this is the live stream, this is what it is that we're doing, so that they can be more informed and you can essentially, you know, build it up, hype it up, and let them know why it is that they should come to your stream. Using this, from my experience so far, using this can help you get more viewers into your live stream. So schedule it in advance and make sure that you put a trailer, spend some time on the trailer, thinking it through in terms of the value that people are going to get, so that as soon as they hit that button, you want to check out, you know, your scheduled stream, you want to make sure that you're thinking about the people that are already involved in your channel, but you want to make sure that you're also thinking about the people that have never interacted with you or your YouTube channel before. And the reason for that is because YouTube is going to show it to some of those people as well. And you want to make sure that you're fully giving them information about why they should join your stream, about why your stream would be important to them. How this works, I've got a full video on the Streamyard channel showing you step-by-step how to do this. But how the trailer works is you make your trailer, just make it short, you know, a minute is fine, or 30 seconds is fine, but make your trailer short, and then you upload it to YouTube unlisted. And the reason that you upload it unlisted is because you do not want it to go out. Let me go full screen here for a second. But you do not want it to go out as a video to your subscribers, because it's not something that, I mean, it's not an actual piece of content, right? So you want to make sure that you have that set to unlisted when you upload it, so that you can assign it from that trailer area, but it's not going to go out and send notifications and all that stuff. And it's not even going to show up as a video in your videos page if people are looking for that. So because of that, make sure that you also set it to unlisted. And if you are just joining us, I do want to let you know, as we're going through this, if you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, make sure that you take a note. And then once you take that note here in just a little bit, when we get into the Q&A part of the stream, if you have any questions about any of the things that I'm talking about, then that would be the time to ask. So let's see here. So the next thing that you want to do, and I'm actually going to take this down here so I can go into one of my streams on my other channel and show you, show you exactly what it is that you should do. Now, give me 1 second here to go into this. I just got to switch accounts really quick. So I hope everybody's enjoying the stream. If you have not given it a thumbs up yet, if you're enjoying this content, make sure that you do give it a thumbs up. That just kind of, helps Streamyard know that you enjoyed this stream, helps YouTube know that you're enjoying the stream, helps me know that you're, that you're enjoying the value here that we're doing with this stream. So, okay. So the next thing that you want to do, and I'm going to pull this back up as well. So after your stream is complete, and I've cleared this one out so that I can make sure to, show you everything that you need. But basically, the very first thing that you want to do when it comes to your live stream, just a very quick tidbit that I want to share, is if you are someone that uses a countdown timer for your live streams. I know for Facebook and, some other platforms, it's kind of appropriate, but if you're wanting to get a good replay value out of the content that you're uploading to YouTube, cut the trailer off, because what you're doing is you're creating, a 10 seconds or a 10-minute or a 2-minute or a 1 minute, however long your intro is, you're creating this big wall between somebody clicking and somebody getting to the actual content that they came in for, and it's going to destroy your replay value. So because of that, make sure that you either do not use them, or if you are going to use them, make sure that you cut them off for YouTube. It doesn't matter, like, YouTube's my thing, like whatever you do on the other platforms, like that's your thing. But like when it comes to YouTube, if you want to make sure that you're fully maximizing that replay value, then you want to make sure that you cut the trailer off. In order to do that, all you have to do is if you come into the live stream replay, then all you have to do is once you click into the actual stream itself here on YouTube, then you come down to the editor. Once you click on this editor, then it's going to load this page right here. And this is going to allow you to actually cut it out. Now, the same exact thing applies if you can see down here where it says blur parts of your video. Let's say, and I'm talking worst case scenarios here, let's say that you're live streaming and you're switching between screens, or you're showing something and a mailing label is within the thing that you're showing, and your address is on there, your phone number's on there. Or let's say that you have like an ID laying around that you just didn't think about, and then you live stream, and then, it's clearly visible on, your desk or something like that. Or, anything like that, to where you're like, oh gosh, I can't believe I showed that in my live stream. I'm going to have to delete my stream. That's not the case. There's also this option right down here at the bottom to where you can blur parts of your video as well within this editor. So if you do run into any problems like that, then you can blur them out here. But at the very least, make sure that you are coming in here and that you are trimming out your intro, your countdown timer. Make sure that you're trimming that out for YouTube. And this is where you do that. Now, in addition to that, if I go back here into the details page, as we keep on scrolling down the page here, the next thing that you want to do, just in terms of, optimizing everything, is right here on YouTube. And this is something that currently isn't available inside of Streamyard. This is why I'm showing you how to do it here on the Streamyard channel, so you can make sure that you give yourself this opportunity. So when it comes to your end screens, the reason that you want to use these on YouTube, and I'm going to explain what they are right here in a second. Actually, I'll explain them right now as I'm going through this. But basically what they are is you can see just kind of like the little templates that they currently have. But at the very end of your video, they give you 20 seconds to where you can put videos, a subscribe button, links out to a website, anything like that. You can put those at the very end of your live stream, so that the people that make it to the end of your live stream, what you want to do is you want to think about, okay, they came into this live stream based on this topic. So since they came in based on this topic, what would be the next logical thing that I could send that person off to based on what they came in, based on what they were originally interested in? And then you want to add that to your end screen. And all you have to do, and I'm going to back out of this really quick just so I can open this window again, but you click on this end screen option right here. And then once you click on that, you can either import it from another live stream, if you wanted to do that from another live stream or video, or you can come in and you can just click on the elements that you want to add right up here in the top left. So in this case, if I wanted to click on a video, then you can see right here, it's going to default into the most recent upload. You can choose best for viewer, or you can also choose a specific video. Now, what I recommend, and of course you can do whatever you want and experiment, with your audience to see what they respond to best. But the idea is you want to have a best for viewer on here. And the reason that you want this one is because whatever recommendation you might make, the people that are interacting with your content might have seen it already. So this best for viewer gives YouTube, because their algorithms know what the people that are interacting with your stream, that gives YouTube the option to present the content to them that their system thinks that person would be the most likely to enjoy from your YouTube channel at that moment in time. So you want to have one that's best for viewer. And then after that, you want to have another one here where you add a video or a playlist. Now, if you add a video, the bonus with that is, of course, you send it to any specific video, and I'm just going to choose a specific video here to show you how that works. I'm just going to click on choose a video, and then we'll do, I'll just do this last one here on, recording the screen just so we can get it up there. So, so what you want to do is you want to just think of, okay, what is it that would make sense for them to go and watch? And that's the one you want to put there. And then you want to have that best for viewer. And again, you can do all kinds of stuff here. Like they have the options to, if we click on this, where you can add, a link to a channel. So let's say that you have a guest and that guest has a YouTube channel, then in that case, you can link directly to their YouTube channel from here. You can put a subscribe icon on here, which will give people the option to subscribe. You can add a direct link. If you are a channel that has merchandise, then you can also put a merchandise link on here as well. But the idea is you want to make sure that you're using this so that once people get to the end of your live stream, they have another piece of content of yours that they can click on, which is ultimately what you want. Because when it comes to YouTube, one of the things that their system is trying to uncover is, are people having a satisfactory experience with your content? Yes or no? One of the ways that they can determine it as a yes is one, of course, they sit and participate through your whole live stream. But in addition to that, if they click on another piece of content from your end screen and go deeper into your YouTube channel because they want more, that's a huge signal to YouTube that that person is enjoying your content. So because of that, the likelihood of them seeing the next live stream that you publish or the next video you publish is massively increased to where they, the likelihood of them seeing that is massively increased. So you want to make sure that you are setting these things up to give yourself, the highest possible chance of getting in front of those viewers again. Now, in this case, I'm just going to hit save just so I can kind of lock those in there for now. But the next thing you want to do, and of course, this is going to be different for every stream, right? But the next thing that you want to do is similar to the end screens. One of the things that YouTube shows us, or gives us the option to do, I should say, is add info cards to our live streams and videos. So what those are is, if you've ever been watching a YouTube video and up in the top right-hand side, you'll see a little circle icon and you'll see a little eye in there, right? It's a little info card. So when, it gets to a certain point in the timeline, then that info card opens up and it's kind of like a teaser of sorts, just text to where, it's trying to get you to click on that, so that you can go watch another video or whatever. So the same thing applies here. If there are parts in your video where you're referencing or parts in your live stream where you're referencing other videos on your channel, other live streams, anything like that, that would be of value to the people that are interacting with your live stream, then you want to make sure that you have that selected here, or that you put these in here so that they can quickly jump from that live stream to that content that you're referencing and things like that. So for example, as long as I remember to, as this stream is complete, either tonight or tomorrow, how I mentioned the trailer, or not the trailer, the trailer, that the video that I made here on the Streamyard channel, at that moment in time, I should go in and I should link that card. Okay. So, but you can link videos, playlists, channels, and you can also put links here as well. So for example, if you have a website you're constantly trying to send people to, when you mention it, just drop, the first time you mention it, just drop that link right in here. And you can do that as a way to send people, directly to your website from your live streams. So those are called cards, and you can find all of that right here in this area. Now, the next thing that you want to do, if we click here on the subtitles, the next thing that we want to do is you want to go in here, and you can edit the time as well. But basically what you want to do is you want to go into your subtitles. If you do like shorter live streams, technically you should do this on the long ones too. But if you go into your live streams, you just want to go through here and just look for, any words that might be offensive. But if you have that box checked, before, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. But in terms of them auto captioning, right? Because they go here and they auto caption. So you just want to read through some of this or all of it, depending on, what it is that how long your streams are. Like, I'm not asking you, if you do streams that are like 2 hours long, I'm not asking you to go through and do this on a 2 hour long live stream. But if you have shorter streams, then this is something that you definitely want to make sure that you're doing, especially if you are leveraging your live streams for the replay. So next thing that we have here, let's see here, because we are in post stream, we'll discard changes there. Cut off that, use cards, chapters. Of course, this is also, and a lot of people don't do this, but if you are somebody that is trying to leverage your live streams, if you're trying to leverage the replay value, then this is also a great opportunity. If you are somebody that, uses your branding as part of your thumbnail or something to let, your core audience know that you're streaming, and you think to yourself, like, you know what, this is now a piece of replay content. I know more details about what I talked about in the stream. So now the next thing to do is go in and update your thumbnail and update your metadata in terms of your title and description to have a better reflection of the exact things that you were talking about in your live stream. Same exact thing goes in your description. If there were things that you mentioned in your live stream that you forgot to add to your description, things that just happened to come up, then you can go ahead and add those as well for that replay value. And then the next thing, of course, that you want to make sure that you do, and I'm going to just right click on this link right here, and that's going to take me directly over to the front of YouTube where I'll see this. But basically what you want to do is you'll see that comments are active, right? So as long as you leave it listed, this one's unlisted, but as long as you leave it listed, then your comments are going to be active. So because of that, the next thing that you want to do is you want to add a pinned comment, also linking them to another video, another piece of content, either a video or a live stream, that would be of value to the people that are interacting with your stream or your replay, so that as they're scrolling down to leave comments, then they will see your pinned comment. This is how you do it. It's really easy. So let's see here. Watch this next. And of course, you can get into more detail. Like, if you apply like a sales mind to this, then you could say this particular stream is YouTube tips to help new YouTubers thrive on YouTube. So then in that case, I could say, because this is targeting new content creators. So I could say, learn how to get your first 1,000 subscribers here. And then of course, and I'm just going to put this here just for the example. And then I would post the link to whatever video or live stream that I have explaining that. And then I would hit comment. Now, the next thing to do in order to pin it is if you look right over here on the right-hand side, there's a little 3-dot menu. If you click on this, then all you have to do is click pin, then choose to pin. And then you're going to see right here, what's going to happen is they show this little pinned, and I'll zoom in on this a little bit. They're going to show this little area down here, and it's going to show that it's pinned by you. So then this is your recommendation. It's the very top of your comment section. So as soon as people open up your comments and they go down there, then they're going to see whatever it is that you recommend there. Same exact thing goes to anything you're trying to bring attention to. If you're trying to get people to subscribe, if you're spreading awareness about, the next time you're going to go live, anything like that, you can use that particular area to just spread awareness through that pinned comment as well, just through some textual information that you may or may not have forgotten during your live stream. So now we will go ahead and get into the Q&A portion of our live stream today, so that I can make sure that if there are any questions that you have about any of the things that we're talking about, so we can make sure that we get you taken care of, and that you leave here with actionable information, and, with as much actionable information as possible and as few questions as possible. So if you have a question, go ahead and get it in there right now, and I'll go ahead and answer it. Just make sure that if you do have a question, that you put a Q in front of the question, so that I know it's for me and not a conversation that's happening in the live chat. So if you have a question, go ahead and get it in there now. And the very first one I saw right up here is, how do you translate closed captions from English to whatever? So there's a tool for that. I know TubeBuddy does it. In addition to that, I know Google Translate, you can just drop everything over that way. Depending on the languages that you're targeting, like what you want to think about is you want to think about, okay, if I have a large viewership in this particular country or these particular countries for these, specific languages, those are the ones that you want to caption for, so that you're just making your content more accessible to the people that are interacting with it, okay? And one thing also to consider when you are translating your content is that is something that can be effective sometimes, but you also want to think like, okay, if I'm captioning this in like Spanish, well, there's a really good chance that there's somebody that is a native Spanish speaker that's making, content like mine. So like for me, right, I talk about YouTube. Well, down in Brazil, we have Camilo, who is known for talking about YouTube and helping people with YouTube down there. So because of that, I wouldn't translate my content into Portuguese, because they can find a version of somebody that they understand better in their local language, right? So I also consider those sorts of things. But yeah, just using Google Translate will get you started with that. Long, tedious process, but you want to make sure that you're just focusing on the languages of the people that are interacting with your content. And of course, if you want to try to expand out to like a market that you're trying to hit, you can do that. But me personally, I haven't found that to be hugely effective. So as we keep on going, so right here, Wisco Ted says, can you pin a comment before you even make your video go public? Now, when it comes to your live stream, no. When it comes to a YouTube video, yes. So in order to pin a comment, you have to upload it as unlisted. If you upload it as private, then you're not going to have the option to pin a comment, because for private uploads, the comment section is disabled. So you want to make sure that if you are trying to pin a comment before you publish your YouTube video, then in that case, you want to make sure that you are uploading your videos as unlisted, like we mentioned before. Excuse me. But you can go in there as soon as you're finished live streaming. You know, if you have your post-stream list, you can go in as soon as you're finished live streaming and you can pin your comment at that point in time. Let's see here. Let's see here. How do you keep the reflection off of your glasses from showing? So this is a great question. If I look hard enough, like we'll get it in there. Yeah, there we go. We got some. So if I look down, you'll see a little bit of the reflection here from the screen that's down here in front of me. If I look over, then, you know, you'll see some of it getting caught. But basically, let me turn to this view. You can see how this light here, basically I have two lights in front of me. I have one that's right over here, and then I have this one here. So both of them, this one's really high over here, and then it's, you know, shooting down on me this way. And then this one here, it's close enough that, I mean, I can, if I reach out, I'm just like a few inches away from being able to touch it. But basically I have it up high enough to where I can look around and it's not in that direct field of view. So, you know, as you know from watching my stuff, like I'm kind of animated sometimes and I move around a lot. So because of that, I put them up kind of high. And then that means that I can just kind of move around like I normally do, and it minimizes. It doesn't fully remove it, but it minimizes the amount of reflection hitting my glasses. Now, as part of that, one of the bonuses of this particular light right here is, it's, as you can see, I mean, it's got a really large surface area. So because of that, it puts out tons of light. So in order to kind of cut down on all the light spilling onto the background and everything, I also have that grid on it, which also helps, you know, kind of focus the light directly on me. That part doesn't help in terms of the glasses, but the height and the size definitely does, because it's putting out enough light to fully light me in a way that is that's comfortable. And to where, you know, I don't have the you know, distraction, so to speak, of the lenses showing everything. Next up, do you repurpose your live stream at all into smaller clips or videos? I thought you mentioned this at one point. I do actually. Like, I have a lot of content, and I've went through a few different people on the management side, and I just haven't found the right fit yet to, you know, consistently get it going up, to consistently get the content up there. But I do have a clips channel. That channel that I was demoing all of this through, that is actually the clips channel. If you just look for Nim and Extra, then that will show up there. Let's see here. Bros in Jen's Aura says, what do you do when someone else uses your channel name and profile pic without permission? Can I use StreamYard on smartphones through the YouTube app? Thank you for all your help. So you can use StreamYard on smartphones, but in order to do that, you need to access it through a browser. So on a iPhone, you would access it through Safari, and then on an Android device, of course, then in that case, you would go through Chrome for that. You might be able to do it on Chrome on a phone now as well. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But for iPhones, because that's what I use, for the iPhones, you can just come in directly through Safari. In terms of through the YouTube app, no, but you schedule your stream in StreamYard, and then you actually log into StreamYard in order to, you know, do your actual broadcast, and then it shows up over on YouTube. In terms of somebody else using your channel name and profile pic, in that particular case, what you would do is you would just report that channel. So you can report them for impersonation, and by doing that, then, you know, YouTube will look into it, and if they're impersonating you, then they'll end up taking that channel down. Let's see here. Can you go live from a mobile device using StreamYard to hit multiple platforms? Absolutely, you can. Just like I just mentioned in terms of, you know, doing it through the browser. At this moment in time, they don't have an app. I'm like crossing my fingers hoping they get an app out, but as of this moment in time, they don't have an actual, you know, app for your phone, but you can do it through the browser there. Hey, what's up, Brad? Hope you're doing awesome, man. Let's see here. Okay, if people type multiple comments too quickly during live streams, is YouTube putting them in timeout? I'm experiencing this on my streams, but I don't see info on this. Should I use slow mode? Don't worry about slow mode, but what you do want to do is just let people that are participating in your streams, just let them know not to, you know, spam your comments. Be like, hey, interact. Right, interact with what it is that we're doing here, but don't, you know, put the same comments all the time, because YouTube will slow those down. And also, if people just comment too much too quickly, then sometimes they can, you know, slow down the rate that they can comment as well. But it's not too bad. I mean, it's, you know, like a handful of seconds here, a handful of seconds there. I wouldn't put it in slow mode, because that slows down your entire chat. So I wouldn't recommend that unless your chat is just bonkers. If your chat's bonkers and you have just tons and tons of people in there talking, and you want to be able to see like what's being said without it just going, then in that case, that's where you'd want to put it in slow mode. All right, looking for more questions as we are going through this list. If you do have a question, make sure you put a Q in front of it. So is there a download? So I'm not sure download for what. If you're talking about the checklist is actually just like video, right? This going through this step by step is the actual, is the actual checklist. So you just want to watch this video and then of course take any notes that you need. But really, when it comes to checklists for, uploading videos, live streams, things like that, I really recommend that people, write down the things that are the most important to them because, we all do this for a bunch of different reasons. We all take different approaches to it. So because of that, pretty much everything that I said today, it applies to you if you stream to YouTube. However, there are some things that, you want to make sure that you do, figure out your system for, so that in the event that you have somebody that comes in, starts helping you with your live streams, things like that, then you already have your standard operating procedure put together that you can just hand that off to them and then they can help you with whatever it is that you're doing. And they essentially have, instructions to help you out. Let's see here. As we keep on going here, I'm looking for any questions that come through. So what lights do you use? So this right here is a Godex SL60, and then there's this dome that I have on it, and I'm not sure what the name of that dome is. That one there is also a Godex SL60W. There's W on both of those. And then I have one right back here. That's it's my I call it a hair light, but we know it's up, right? There's no hair going on here. So it's more of a backlight in order to just kind of separate me from the background when I wear dark colors, things like that. But that one is also a Godex, but it's an LED light. I'm not sure of the model number, but it's about this big. It's a pretty small one just because I don't want it to wash the room. And it also has barn doors on it so that I can fully, have control over the light in terms of, trying to avoid any spillover or anything like that into any of the areas that I prefer to be dark. Like for example, like the areas where you see lights hitting, I like those areas to be dark so that those lights will, stand out a little bit more. But yeah, so for this setup though, it's just the 3 lights. So for this setup, we have, I have the key light here, and then the fill light over here, and then that hair light back over here. Let's see here. Any more questions that we have? I'm just kind of going through the things here. Okay. I stream walks on my channel. How do I schedule a live stream from mobile? So 2 ways that you can do this. If you do it through Streamyard, then in that case, you would just go in you would just go to streamyard.com and then you would log in. They're going to send you you put your email in, they send you your password or your passcode, I should say, to your email. You copy that in, paste it, and then that lets you into Streamyard. You're good to go from that point forward unless you clear your cache or something like that. Now, once you are in Streamyard, then inside of there, you have the option to create a broadcast. And when you click on create a broadcast, then it's going to take you through, filling out everything. But what you want to do first is make sure that you have your thumbnail uploaded to your phone, whatever thumbnail you're going to use for your stream, so that once you get to that part in the process of scheduling it, so that you already have a thumbnail on your phone to pull from, instead of being like, oh, now I need to, now I got to stop this whole process and make a phone, because it'll just kind of throw a wrench in your process. Now, if you're doing it from YouTube, if you have the subscriber requirements for YouTube, then you can just go into the app and you can just click create and you can just hit go live, take a picture, for your thumbnail, put your title in and all that stuff, and just go directly from there. But you're not going to be able to multicast. So if you're wanting to multicast and take care of or take advantage of, StreamYard's commenting features, StreamYard's recording features, because one of the many awesome things about StreamYard is that while you're live streaming, like this live stream right now, this is being recorded in the back end, like by default. So because of that, when this live stream's over, if I wanted to download it and use it for, use clips out of it for social media or for my other channel or whatever, then in that case, it gives me that opportunity to where just recording to YouTube, they store it, but it's not in a way like you have to go through and you download like a lower quality version of it and all of that, where on StreamYard, you actually get the full, 1080p version. Let's see here. So as we keep on going down, how long should you schedule your live streams in advance? This is a great question. So if you don't have an audience yet, you don't have that many people participating, and you need to get the word out, then in that case, schedule it as far in advance as you can. So, if you are going to live stream, like let's say on Friday, then you might want to go ahead and just schedule that stream on like, Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe even Monday, just so that people, have enough time to know that you're going to be streaming and they know to show up. If you have a following already, in that case, 24 hours is more than enough time in order to let everybody know that needs to know that you are going to be live streaming. But the best approach is to schedule your live streams and make sure that you are live streaming on a on a schedule. So when you are putting your live stream together, you just want to pick a day of the week that's the most convenient for you. You just want to pick a day of the week that's most convenient for you, and stream on a regular basis if you're trying to grow your live stream audience. So if that was every Thursday or every Wednesday or every other Thursday or Wednesday, whatever it is, based on your needs, then in that case, you want to make sure that you're showing up like clockwork. So then over time, people can start to count on you being live. So if they're doing something else, like, oh, that's right, Wisco Ted is live right now. So I'm going to go hang out in his stream because I'm just kind of hanging out around the house. Do you use an ATEM Mini? If not, what is the camera switcher you use? I do have the ATEM Mini. Let me move this here really quick. Little logo flash. Yeah, so for this, I am using the ATEM Mini. I had the auto switching happening before, but I use the ATEM Mini for this. Captivating Mind says, I haven't bought Streamyard yet. What should I get? I want to do reaction videos and also screen share. So if you're going to be doing that live, then in that case, then Streamyard is going to be, Streamyard will be your thing. Technically, you could do it, and Streamyard does have the option to where you can go live, but you're not really live, you're just recording. So technically, you can do that as well. So for that, all you would need is Streamyard and an internet connection, of course, and that's it, because you can screen share, and then you could screen share for your actual reactions that you're doing. And then, of course, as you're doing all that, it's being recorded, in the background. Then you would go in after it's complete, download that, and then edit it up to make it, a little bit more tight, a little bit more of a, video experience, since it is reaction. As a new streamer, should I unleash my stream videos? I only post around once every 2 weeks. So what you need to think about when it comes to deciding if you're going to, keep your videos or your live streams public or unlisted is the replay value. So if your live streams are something that are really only good while you're live, then in that case, don't worry about leaving them public. I mean, you can if you want to, but what I would do on YouTube, or what I do actually on YouTube, is I would make a custom uploads playlist. Take the original uploads playlist off of your channel page, and then make a custom uploads playlist, so that if you do not want to focus people, new people to your channel, if you don't want to focus them on those streams, then you can choose to not add them to that custom playlist. But everything else, all your video content, you add them to that playlist, so then it features them there on your YouTube homepage, your YouTube channel page, is what you want to do. And in terms of if your content is good for the replay, then in that case, what you want to do is you want to leave it public. And you leave it public, but you want to make sure, just as a quick tip for you here, you want to make sure that if you are leaving your live streams public, that you are considering the replay. So there's videos here on the Streamyard channel about it. I've made videos on my channel about it, just talking about the importance of the replay value if you're going to use it, and how to actually structure things when it comes to your video. There's a video that I just put out recently on the Streamyard channel about 7 mistakes that live streamers make on YouTube. So go watch that video. There's also a very clear part in there where I'm talking about, unlisting them and the replay, the actual replay value itself, and how you would structure it and how you would actually move things around based on doing the replays, and where you would cut off information. So for example, if you are using your live streams on the replay, then if you have any shout out sessions, you have any like countdown timers, you have any, marketing messages that you want to say beforehand about your merch, things like that, and it's not really appropriate for the first things for people to see when they come in on the replay, then in that case, when it comes to figuring out the structure of your live stream, what you want to do is you want to front load all of that stuff, so that it's there while you're live, right? You're talking about while you're live, you go through this big long thing for the people that are hanging out waiting for you to go live, if you have people waiting. And then once your live stream is complete, go through, cut off your countdown timer, cut out all those shout outs, all that stuff. Basically have that whole front part to where you can just cut it at a certain point. So here's how that would work. You would go through all of that stuff that you're trying to share and spread awareness about, and then you would drop your hook. That would be your cut point. And what I mean by your hook is, let's say you're gaming, let's say that you're doing, any type of content on YouTube. The hook is, if somebody comes into your live stream as the replay, your hook is you telling them exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish in that live stream, or what they're going to be learning in the live stream, or whatever the thing is, so that they know the value they're going to get out of the content that they're interacting with, so that they can make the proper determination on if they're going to stick around and watch the rest of that live stream replay or not. So, to recap that idea, all of your, messaging stuff in the beginning, and then you have your cut point right before your hook. So you go through all that stuff. Hey, shout out to this person, that person. I got this merch available. Got this stuff I'm going. Check out my website, blah, blah, blah. You go through whatever sequence you have there. And then you're like, and today, I'm going to show you whatever, or, hey, in this stream, we're trying to beat this level, or we're trying to beat this character, or we're trying to get, all the loot boxes, or I'm going to be showing you how to do these specific things, whatever it is for the type of content you make. Let's see here. So as we keep on going, so here, what would be the ideal switcher for, say, 3 USB webcams and 4 XLR mics? So in terms of a switcher, I'm not sure because of the USB side. When it comes to USB, like with the ATEM Mini, for example, you can just plug in HDMIs into that, no problem. But when it comes to USBs, they need like power and all of that. So that's probably not the best approach to take. Because, like, for example, that switcher would need to plug in just like the ATEM Mini does, but you would need to have multiple USBs going into it. And I'm not sure, it might exist. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm not familiar with any piece of hardware that will take those 4 inputs and turn them into a camera source. But it's probably there, but I'm not sure. So one thing that I want to show you here really quick is in my setup is I use that ATEM Mini so I can have the multiple cameras, because I have this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then for the audio inputs, I have the Rodecaster Pro. So these 2 pieces of hardware would completely cover you. So with the Rodecaster Pro, you can have 4 XLR inputs. And if you're doing podcasting, then, this is perfect for you anyway. And then for the actual video part of it, that's where an ATEM Mini or an ATEM Mini Pro ISO would come in. Now, just as a heads up, Streamyard records, all this stuff in the background while you're live. However, if you're not going live, or if you're like, hey, I want the highest possible quality, it still doesn't do 4K. It's still 1080p. But if you're like, I want the highest quality possible, content possible, then in that case, you might want to get the ATEM Mini Pro ISO so you can record directly to the box itself. But you can only do that when you're not live, unless you get like an HDMI switcher or something like that. Let's see here. Ages. What is a child age that they shouldn't be in a channel that is not for kids? Well, on YouTube, a kid is defined as somebody that is 13 years old or younger. So here, do live streams help build your YouTube channel, or do they hurt it? So if you have a live stream and your live stream is based around the type of content that you make on your YouTube channel, then they can help it. The wrench gets thrown into it when people have a live stream. Like, okay, let's say, for example, right? Like, we're on the Streamyard channel right now. The entire channel is about live streaming. So if we were to all of a sudden start doing cooking content on here, then it would be like, and then people, so there'd be some people that would hang out in the streams, but, most of the people that are interacting in the channel would be like, no, I'm not going to participate in that, or I don't care about their cooking streams or whatever. And because of that, it would hurt the click-through rate for the people that do click on it that aren't, that don't know that that's what's going on. Then that would hurt the, average view duration of those streams as well, because of the mass abandonment that would happen. And then in addition to that, it would start breaking trust with the type of content. And then that would ripple out through like, oh, hey, here's another video of theirs. Yeah, it's about live streaming, but every time I click on their stuff, it seems like they're making cooking videos, right? So that's the way that it ends up harming channels. But as long as you're within the type of content that you make and you keep serving your audience, and giving them what it is that they come to you for initially, plus the added bonus of getting, more familiar with the nuances of your personality, then in that case, live streams typically are a good thing to do. On 2 different occasions, I had a scheduled live stream through Streamyard, and when I hit go live, it never actually streamed, and I had to stop the stream and start a new one. Any guidance? I've never had that happen. I've been using them for a long time now, and I've never had that happen. What I would do is I would make that post in their Facebook community and see if they, if anybody else has experienced that. But they have staff there that monitors that to where they'll be able to run you through some checks of things that might have happened in that situation. So if you are a StreamYard user, make sure that you go to Facebook and you look for StreamYard community, and that group's going to pop up there. You definitely want to make sure that you're a part of that, just because like they upload buttons for the stream decks in there. They have like free graphics they upload, things like that. Plus there's just tons of just great content in there of people asking questions and people, helping people solve their problems. Let's see here. How do you auto switch your cameras with the ATEM? So let me show you. So right here, let me share a window. If I can find it here. Yeah, ATEM Mini. So basically, all I have to do for this. Oops. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to find where we're at, so I can just see exactly. There we go. Up here. Perfect. Yeah, so basically with this, all we have to do, this way maybe? We'll do that. There we go. Okay, so all you have to do is, it comes with this software. It's this ATEM software control, and then you set up macros. So I've already created the macros, and basically you just hit plus, and then you name it, and then you go through and you tell it this camera for this long, this camera for this long, this camera for this long. And then when it's time to stream, once you have those set up, then you just click on run. You click on recall and run, make sure that it's looping right here. Select the switching that you want, which I'll just go ahead and do it, and then you hit play. And then now the software will take over, and then you will be good to go there on the on the auto switching. As you can see, the software has now taken over. The robots are taking over. All right, so the next thing, the next question that we have here are, let's see here. I'm just looking to see if we have any more. Hey, Shelly, what's up? Hope you're doing awesome. Let's see here. YouTube related. How do I obtain my community tab? You need to get 500 subscribers or more on your YouTube channel. Once you get those 500 subscribers or more, then after a short period of time after you've maintained it, then YouTube will just go ahead and give you the community tab. You don't have to do anything on your end except meet the requirements. And let's see here. I think that might have us up to date on the questions. It is. All right. So I hope that you got some value out of the live stream today. So make sure that, if you are somebody that is live streaming to YouTube, make sure that you do the things that I'm talking about today, because, it'll keep your streams clean. Some of the things that I was talking about will help you get more views. So for example, when it comes to chaptering live streams on YouTube, a lot of people don't know this, so I want to make sure that I share this. If you have search-based content, anything that can, help people solve problems, that kind of stuff, if you're making that type of content, or, like let's say you're doing gaming content, you're doing marketing content, or whatever it is that you're doing, if it's content that people can find via YouTube search or Google search, then one of the things that's awesome with chapters is that each individual chapter is also something that can show up in search on YouTube. It can show up on Google. So you want to make sure that if you do have a search-based channel and you are keeping your live streams public, you want to make sure that you are going in there and putting chapters into places where they make sense, at the very least around things where you're sharing information that that people could be searching for. And when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're optimizing the name or the title of that chapter around that keyword or keyword phrase that people are looking for. So make sure that you're doing that if you're using chapters. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out in the stream today. Again, I hope that you got some value out of this. If you are not a StreamYard user, definitely check it out at streamyard.com. I've been using StreamYard now for my live streams for quite some time, and the reason that I switched from Streamlabs and from OBS is because those things always gave me problems. Always like a computer update, then I would have problems with the software. Sometimes we'd get things set up, and then for no reason at all, then all of our graphics and our scenes and all that stuff would fall apart. And ever since that I've started using StreamYard, I haven't had to deal with any of those headaches. But it's easy to use. They do all the heavy lifting for you in the cloud in terms of your computer, so you don't even need a strong computer to use it. You can do it from your phone, which is awesome. They have it where you can add graphics to your streams. You can bring in guests really easily. Just an awesome piece of software, but you can try it out at streamyard.com. They even have a free trial for you. And if you're not subscribed to the StreamYard channel yet, I do want to let you know that I do a live stream here. Typically, it's the last Tuesday of the month, but I didn't do it at the end of last month because of the holidays, so I'm making up for it now, but I'll be back here again at the end of this month. But I've also got some videos about live streaming here on the Streamyard channel as well. But there's a lot of great content here if you're a live streamer that you need to check out if you're not familiar with the Streamyard YouTube channel or the software. So thank you everybody for hanging out, and make sure that you give this a thumbs up on the way out. It would be super appreciated, and I will see you next time.